So I covered heat and the general impact of it kind of last week a little, but now we're into a cool patch. But apparently we're going into another one next week. I thought I'd just kind of cover what I noticed over the whole period, what I think I might need to kind of do, and just make sure that I'm kind of keeping or looking after myself properly. So things I noticed, definitely my blood vessels and legs were more mottled than they have been for a while. I'd kind of got used to them getting a little bit back to normal. They're never quite as I remember them, really normal, but they had they had got back to a level where I was comfortable, and they've kind of taken a bit more prominence again. I also got bitten, which is not directly related to the heat, but kind of, obviously there were a lot more bugs around and stuff, and that's taking a little while. And then, just to add to the stupidity of that, I went out for a cycle with a friend on Sunday, and we rode through a whole heap of bushes and stinging nettles and God knows what else. That's entirely my own fault, but I'm already noticing that things aren't quite clearing as readily as they might have done. So, on the whole, and obviously this has been the big issue for me all the way through since I've been taking the tablet. So that's kind of that. Um, I would also comment that I have definitely been dehydrated and requiring more fluid. Now, sometimes I think that applies in a normal context, but actually because of what's going on, I think it's because of what's going on with the heat, I'm definitely needing even more than I used to. So obviously making sure I stay hydrated is kind of really important. So those were probably the two big things that I noticed over the last week, aside from just being very hot and very sweaty, which I don't think I'm the only one who was like that. So, overall, not too bad, but lots of things I can take on board. And I'd be really interested to hear about other people who perhaps, were going through kind of bad things and what they noticed about their CLL and how they felt they were responding in that period. So, be good to hear from anyone who's going through that. I'll leave it there for today. Thanks very much, and I will speak to you on the next one.